Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, Joel Embiid finally get on the court together, and they end up losing in double overtime to Atlanta, who's been very good lately. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games, so the competition level pretty solid. And if I were able to, trust that Paul George and Embiid could actually stay on the court, which they can't, this would definitely be a step in the right direction. Honestly, throughout this game, a lot of the time it felt like the Sixers were the better team in control. But Atlanta kind of did what the Sixers started the year doing, just stick around to the end. And then the fourth quarter hit and Atlanta just took all the momentum. It took the Sixers 4.5 minutes to score their first bucket in the fourth quarter. And of course, there's been a lot of focus on the third quarter because that's usually where it happens. But let's just be real. This team has shown us who they are. They are prone to bad stretches where they lack ball movement and rely on ISO ball and tough shot making. I thought the shot selection from Maxey, Paul George, and Joel Embiid, all three of them at times was very suspect, and it's like, what are you doing? Tyrese Maxey was putrid in that first half. It was almost like he finally got teammates and he was like, oh, I don't have to do anything. And he was turning the ball over and all he was doing was forcing up 3-pointers. It's like, dude, your 3-point shot ain't there. I really believe if they just got a normal Tyrese Maxey half, he put up points in the first half, but he also missed momentum shifting shots. And he was also turning the ball over. 4 turnovers in the first half. Come on, man. I feel like we needed his mentality of getting downhill like he did all second half. We needed that in the first half, at least a little. But he did take over down the stretch. Unfortunately, missed those 2 free throws. When does that ever happen? But again, 52 minutes from Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George can't play 30. Even Joel Embiid played 30 minutes. Speaking of Embiid, that was crazy for him to look off Maxey in crunch time when he was the hot hand. Finally, you got Maxey locked in and you're going away from him for a shit shot. And once again, that just shows the lack of discipline from this team. You're up by 2 points. Getting up to 4 points or 5 with that much time left, that would be critical. This team just doesn't value possessions. In the fourth quarter, you had Adem Bona shooting another 3-pointer. Same with Dominic Barlow. What are we doing? There is a lot of time on the shot clock. You don't have to just resort to this 3-pointer because it's open. They want you to shoot that. And it starts with your best players. Here's Paul George. They get a great stop. The vibe in the arena is great at this point. Finally, they're doing well in the third quarter. And then Paul George, just stupid shot selection. In transition, the deepest step back 2 you can possibly imagine. No chance of it going in. This is how you run a fast break, by the way. Atlanta gets right to the basket. I also really enjoy his lazy steal attempt on that play. And then Embiid, just pathetic. And the whole goal of the Sixers should have been keep Atlanta out of transition because Jalen Johnson is a freak of nature. He's basically Giannis in his prime right now in transition. Guess what? Atlanta has 23 fast break points. Those bad shots lead to log rebounds and runouts. So basically, that shot from Paul George, Maxey rushing a 3-point early in the shot clock, Embiid calling off Maxey and taking his own number, all of them are basically turnovers because they can't get back on defense consistently. And even if a guy like Embiid gets back on defense, he can't jump to contest. Therefore, Atlanta shoots 71% in the fast break situation. And I guarantee you a part of him rushing that shot definitely has to do with the minutes restriction. He knew he was coming out soon. He probably thought, oh, I might be done for the night. We have momentum right now. Let me just rush this shot real quick. There's a lot of criticism going to Nick Nurse right now, and I don't necessarily blame people for doing that. The offense lacks consistent ball movement. Jared McCain, there's no plan for McCain when everyone's healthy. However, Nick Nurse's job with these minutes restrictions are nearly impossible. In this game for Atlanta, Jalen Johnson, 45 minutes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 44 minutes. Dyson Daniel, 44 minutes. Onyeka Okongwu, 47 minutes. Meanwhile, Paul George, in a double overtime game, plays 28 minutes. Joel Embiid, 30 minutes. VJ Edgecombe, 21 minutes. I'm sorry, but the Sixers cannot be taken seriously serious until Paul George and Joel Embiid can consistently play above 30 minutes, play starter minutes without getting injured and being in and out of the lineup. In the second half, as the game goes on, you're supposed to shorten your rotation, especially when you're going to double overtime. Well, guess what? The Sixers, as the game goes on, their rotation gets larger and larger. Don't be surprised if you're at the game and Nick Nurse is calling your name to get in there. I'm just sick of the minutes restrictions. It ruins the whole entire flow and rhythm of the game for the team. Fast forward 2 months and we're still stuck in the same situation where these guys can't play over 30 minutes consistently. Trade them for literally anything. Attach picks. I don't care. Alright, maybe not attach picks, but one of them needs to be gone if this minutes shit keeps happening. Also, Joel Embiid played 30 minutes of basketball and had 4 rebounds as a 7-footer. Yikes. If that doesn't tell you he's cooked, I don't know what will. Also, 16 second chance points for Atlanta. Not only were they destroying you in the fast break scenario, but they were getting each and every single offensive rebound. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of get a feeling the writing's on the wall for Jared McCain. It feels like he's the odd man out. When he gets in the game for the first time, he really isn't involved. They have him standing and watching. And when you're not getting the most out of him offensively, that's when he becomes a suspect player because we know his defense is not going to be very good. If I was the Sixers, I would just try to get him more involved on offense, have him moving off the rock. And for instance, Maxey just played 52 minutes. He needs a rest. Let him take the night off against the Wizards and let Jared McCain start and be the main guy. But quite frankly, Jared McCain playing 28 minutes and only getting up 2 3-pointers, it can't happen. That's on McCain, but it's also on the head coach and his teammates. I thought VJ in his first game back played really well, especially defensively. You felt his impact right away. You felt his hustle. And then, once again, most likely to the minutes restriction, he plays 9 minutes in the second half. Shout out Quentin Grimes. I mean, he went off. 28 points, 10 rebounds as well. I thought Dominic Barlow played well once again. My only problem with him was that 3-pointer in double overtime. I thought he rushed it. Could have, just kicked it out to the top, run something else, but it is what it is. Adam Bona did the same thing, but I thought the first 2 games back for Bona have been nice as well. And obviously a big story in this game was the Sixers shooting 22% from 3. I thought what really cooked them is just the inconsistency from their star players. Maxey had a great end to the game besides the missed 2 free throws, but in the beginning, he was pretty much nowhere to be found. Joel Embiid was the opposite. I thought he was great in the first half, but then he shoots 25% in the second half and barely is on the court. And then Paul George was pretty much what he's been as a Sixer. A nice 2-minute stint, but then he kind of just blends in and then you get suspect decision-making. Even when he scores, I don't feel his impact. He doesn't take over. When he had a chance to make it a 1-point game, everyone knew he was bricking. I mean, come on now. He's a clutch gene of Ben Simmons. I would go as far as saying Ben Simmons is more clutch. Here's the reality. Joel Embiid has shown that he's a shell of himself defensively and in terms of rebounding and the little things. And Paul George has shown that he's a shell of himself as an offensive piece. If both were off the team tomorrow, I would not care. Hopefully they turn it around and actually start to play games and also starter minutes.